So I think in farming, the biggest thing that a lot of people don't understand is that this is our way of life. We love what we do. We wouldn't be out here every single day in the cold or the rain or the snow, but we love our animals. We want to be good stewards of the land. We want to provide food for the world, and we take that very, very seriously. So you live it, you eat it, you breathe it every single day. So when you start the day, the weather might be bad. We put it in God's hands and say it will be what we have for today, and we'll make the best of it and hope the sun comes out tomorrow, but knowing that God is ultimately in control of our farm life. I tell young people there's always hope. People always need to eat. People always need a farmer. Get an education. We need new agri-entrepreneurs to take the steps of the people that are aging out of the business. As we become less and less connected to agriculture, and now we're under 2% of our population produces the food for not only North America, South America, the world. People no longer have a grandpa or a grandma to go to on the farm. Their experience is what they might see in TV or they see on Facebook. And a lot of times the truths are not told. The experience is not held close to your heart. You don't get that connection with God and His ability to work miracles with what we do here every day, because that's what it is. These are miracles. We could not do this alone without Jesus Christ in our life. I think our community needs to come together as such en masse. If we had more prayers for the faithful that would speak of what's happening in our daily life, producing your food and your clothing. And I would hope that one thing that our priests and the people in our parish would not just pray the prayer, but would also understand what that prayer means. And I think that's where educating some of our priests that have never had hands-on on the farm, come to the farm, see what it means to sit in the combine and watch the grain being combined and harvested, or like we're doing today, hauling the manure, which people think is a terrible thing, and we see it as a huge success that we can get it out into the soil and use it for nutrients. It's not a toxic waste to us. We need it. It's important. I'd love to go back to the first days when I became a veterinarian. You'd go in a warm, cozy barn, you'd look at 1, 2 cows, you'd have a great conversation, and I bet you the farmer would ask you in for a glass of milk and a homemade cookie or piece of cake. That was wonderful. There's times where I know that the husband's been outside. Now we have such separated families because the wife, when I first started this business, the husband and wife were in the barn together all the time. The kids held the bottles to feed the calves. Everybody talked. You're all done. Now you're going to go eat supper together. It all worked. Now the wife goes to town. She works. She might come home at a different hour. The husband's doing something else. They don't talk to each other. It doesn't happen. In dairy farming, when things get negative, prices get low, we're all struggling, all looking for the magic bullet, all wanting to be successful. But at what cost do we do that? And it would maybe be putting down our neighbor or saying that organic's better than conventional. How about we just all work together producing food and build each other up rather than constantly negating each other? One of the really, really tragic things that started this many years ago was a dad with a handicapped son. He was not born that way. He was injured, and he had finally passed away. And I went there for herd health, meaning to go and check and look at the cows with him monthly. And he was standing very quietly by the cow, and I looked at him, and you stand very close when you're working together, and I looked at him and I said, "How are you doing? How are you feeling?" And he broke into tears crying, and he said, "You're the first person that has asked me how I feel. No one has looked at me and talked to me about me." And I learned from that experience that you need to stop when someone has had tragedy and ask them, "How are you? Can I help in any way?"